how does a brand new person, when they're making $2,000-$3,000 a month and maybe a draw or a salary, they obviously want to make $100,000, $200,000 a year, and they know that the fastest way to do that is to get people to buy something from them, to close the deal. Yet the paradox is, in order to make that shift, they need to lower the importance of closing the deal and instead raise their standard on how can I get this person to make decisions that will ultimately, obviously, end in them buying something from them. So what advice would you give a brand new salesperson that needs to make that kind of money? They need to give them a pay raise, but they're in this kind of stuck spot right now.
I think so much more of it is common sense than we give ourselves credit for. And sometimes we have to see this project or this goal that's way out there. And I think the first thing, and I like doing this in seminars with teams, is to say, what are all the decisions that a person has to make in order to go forward with you? And we've, talked in the past about different decisions or different things that people could purchase, but what are all the things that they have to decide on before the yes to the big one? The same way as an endurance athlete like you, Jason, when you were wanting to go and climb the elevation of Mount Everest, you didn't go out and try to climb the elevation of Mount Everest. You went on a walk. There's steps along the way. And so just the same way is recognize that it's not closing a deal. It's not climbing Mount Everest, that there are steps that you have to take. Is that where you would start as well?
Yes. And yes, eventually we've got to shift their mindset, because again, in order to be a top producer, in order to be the Tom Brady of sales, they have to think like the Tom Brady of sales, they have to speak like the Tom Brady of sales, and they have to do behaviors like the Tom Brady of sales. And that's very different than a brand new person that's just starting out. And it's very possible that some salespeople will never have that shift. I mean, that's a shift. That's like in the Matrix, like taking the red pill and completely seeing everything differently, because any salesperson for any bit of time has been told, probably by their bosses, their managers, you must sell more, you must bring another deal, you must close another home or remodeling project or software, whatever they're closing. So they're told to do this, but they're not told the paradox, which is what you said, which is, in order to actually close the deal, I need to not focus on closing a deal. I need to focus on helping customers make decisions that would logically and rationally into them buying something from us.
Well, do you remember that moment for you? If you think back, do you remember when you lowered the importance, or can you think of a sale where that is what, where you can even, maybe not in the middle of it, but afterwards we're like, oh, I did what I didn't put the pressure on myself and it came in.
I think when I shifted over, when I got into new home sales, so I was a stockbroker and then new home sales, and probably even when I was in high school and I was working in retail clothing, but definitely in home sales, I think the difference is that I probably, and this is maybe the epiphany here, is I really just enjoyed the process of helping people make decisions. That was actually fun for me. So I enjoyed the puzzle of the whole thing of, a customer trying to figure out, are they going to live in are they going to buy a house or not? And then of course, it's like, okay, well, what do we need to decide in order to make that decision? Well, I need to decide if I can, what price range I should spend. I need to decide if I'm going to leave my current part of town. I'm going to decide if I'm going to own versus rent. I'm going to decide, do I even want to live in this part of town? What are the decisions that need to be made with that? It's do I like the commute? Do I like the local attractions like movie theaters and grocery stores I want to go to? So all of these kind of decisions. And so for me, I'm not sure if I ever even, maybe even had that issue, because for me, it was always fun in the sense of, this is a puzzle and let's just kind of break it down and figure out what's the missing piece that needs to be kind of fulfilled next.
How wonderful that must be.